What happens when a nation risks $500 million on ambulances and its own future? Burkina Faso just signed a $500 million pact with India, 1,000 custom-built ambulances. In a country where waiting for help can take hours or days, this leap is unprecedented, not just for Burkina Faso, but for all of West Africa. These are not hand-me-downs or foreign aid. They are advanced, high-tech ambulances, built for rough terrain, and delivered through a direct partnership. Lives, fortunes, and national pride are now bound together in a single, breathtaking wager. Will this be the lifeline that saves tens of thousands, drives growth, and redefines Africa's potential? Or will it become a cautionary tale, a $500 million gamble with credibility on the line? The stakes are enormous. Success could rewrite Africa's future. Failure could haunt generations. But how did Burkina Faso reach this pivotal moment? To understand, we need to trace the journey behind this bold decision. Meet the leader who turned healthcare into a front line and made ambulances his weapon of choice. Until recently, Burkina Faso rarely appeared in global health debates. That changed with Ibrahim, a geologist turned soldier who rose to the presidency in a 2022 coup at just 34 years old, the world's youngest head of state. Ibrahim's early years were spent on the front lines, witnessing the brutal toll of inadequate emergency care, wounded soldiers dying, civilians abandoned. These experiences forged his belief that security and health are inseparable. Saving lives at the front meant saving lives everywhere. Once in power, Ibrahim made a promise that surprised allies and critics alike. Health would be as vital as security. He launched free ambulance rides, sent mobile clinics to remote areas, and built new emergency units in hospitals. For him, every preventable death became a threat to his rule. But this revolution had roots. Years of working with India, importing medicines, vehicles, and expertise built trust. These partnerships set the stage for something audacious, to deploy 1,000 advanced ambulances, not as foreign aid, but as a declaration of national ambition. Ibrahim's wager is immense. Success could secure his power and redefine African development. Failure risks global credibility and the hopes of millions. But buying ambulances is only the first step. The real challenge? Getting them where they are needed, in a nation where roads vanish in dust or mud and emergencies can last for days. Soon, Ibrahim would stake everything on a $500 million deal with India, a deal that could change Burkina Faso's fate or shatter it. Its origins and risks reveal a new playbook for African sovereignty. Can 1,000 ambulances really change a system where help once took hours or never came at all? In rural Burkina Faso, emergencies meant anxious, endless waiting. Aid could be a day away or not come at all. Makeshift pickups or donkey carts stood in for ambulances, and survival often came down to luck. Even in the capital, with over 2 million residents, a single crash could exhaust the city's handful of ambulances. Rural clinics coped with battered vehicles, while mothers in labor and the injured waited, sometimes in vain. That's what made the deal with India so radical. It was not just about buying vehicles, it was about transforming the entire system. 1,000 ambulances, equipped with GPS, telemedicine, and real-time dispatch, rolled in from Indian factories. Suddenly, Burkina Faso had access to technology rivaling the world's top medical networks. This was no act of charity. The nation invested $500 million, a sovereign gamble to create jobs, train paramedics, and modernize emergency care. Local mechanics learned to fix the new fleet. Dispatchers and medical students trained for a system built on speed and expertise. But deployment brought new hurdles. Roads needed repair, and the rainy season turned highways to rivers. Paramedics had to master new equipment and face dangers from urban chaos to remote conflict zones. Breakdowns and communication failures pushed the system to its limits. At risk? Far more than vehicles or money. Failure means wasting $500 million and failing those most in need. Success could save thousands, proving a new model for African progress, built on dignity and self-reliance. But how does this gamble play out where every second matters? Are the new ambulances truly reaching those in need? And can the system deliver when it counts most? Now, the real test begins. What happens when the call for help goes out and the stakes are life or death? Across Burkina Faso, sirens once meant despair. Now, they pulse with hope because every second matters more than ever. Just a year ago, a medical emergency could mean waiting many hours, sometimes days, for help that might never arrive. Today, test runs in many regions clock in at under half an hour, a transformation that feels miraculous. These minutes save lives, each story proof of change. Idrissa, a boy who broke his leg falling from a mango tree, saw an ambulance arrive in less than 30 minutes. He is already running again. Amy, a new mother, survived childbirth complications thanks to a rapid hospital transfer. Salif, who suffered a heart attack, received care on the road and lived to tell his story. Beneath these victories, a new workforce is rising. Paramedic training and logistics schools are giving young people skills and jobs they never imagined. Emergency warehouses, built to support ambulances, are sparking small local businesses, spreading economic energy through towns. India's partnership is drawing global attention. Leaders from Ethiopia, Ghana, and others have sent teams to study how a sovereign deal, not charity, can remake essential services so quickly. The ripple effect is clear. Ambulances are saving lives and sparking new markets, expertise, and connections. Yet the stakes remain high. If Burkina Faso's gamble succeeds, it will set a new standard for Africa. Proof that nations can invest in themselves and that India's model can work on the world stage. If it fails, trust and ambition could erode at home and abroad. The transformation is real, but so are the risks. What lasting lessons can emerge, and how does a vision measured in $500 million become everyday value for ordinary people? As the ambulances roll on, the test of endurance begins. Can this fragile momentum become a foundation for national health and dignity? What does Burkina Faso's ambulance revolution reveal about a nation's future, development, and investment? The lessons here may ripple far beyond its borders. Nation building is not just about weapons or borders. It is about dignity. Burkina Faso invested in ambulances, roads, and medical training, proving that real security means saving lives. Building hope and healthcare into every region creates unity and national pride. This was not charity. It was a sovereign partnership. Burkina Faso and India struck a deal as equals with no hidden strings. They built something both nations could sustain. This model is a signal to others. Seek partners who invest with you, not donors who only give aid. The impact is bigger than health. Emergency care fuels economic and social growth. Ambulance hubs create jobs. Paramedic training builds skilled workers. And better roads plus digital dispatch open isolated villages to new opportunities. But the crucial lesson is not just about buying vehicles. It demands follow-through, maintaining ambulances, training staff, repairing roads, and building trust. Technology alone is not enough. Only commitment and planning bring real change. Ambitious moves carry risk. Burkina Faso's $500 million gamble could have failed. Yet bold steps are sometimes needed to break old barriers and inspire others. The world is watching. Will others learn from this revolution, or let the chance to redefine development and public health slip away? As Burkina Faso's ambulances roll out, the question remains, how will the country's gamble shape its future, and what ripple effects might reach the rest of Africa? In Burkina Faso, every siren is now more than a call for help. It is a signal that every moment and every life matters. This is what ambition looks like. Not charity, but a leap of faith. Burkina Faso's partnership with India, worth $500 million, has turned ambulances into symbols of resilience and national pride. Each Indian-made ambulance rolling through a village is proof that an African nation can seize its destiny, secure world-class deals, and invest in its future. Lives are being saved, jobs created, and expectations transformed. But this bet is not without risk. Burkina Faso has put hope, reputation, and resources on the line. Will others dare to follow, or will they shrink from the challenge? The world is watching. When the next siren sounds, what will it mean in your country?